Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time we started on the trial for the murder of Mr. Jack Hammers and to defend our client Mr. Will Powers. And today we're gonna dive right into the trial. So I think it's just time to get it over with. And then jump right in. October 18th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number... Oh, we're number 4. I guess 1 and 2 was occupied. Court is now in session for the trial on Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 at Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Hey, what's up, Gumshoe? Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout on the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works in the studio was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15, there was only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff was in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m, the security lady got to this guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? I think I'm good. I think I probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval! Spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. That question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh dear, no need for you being badass. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say the name. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Her actual... Just call me oh my... Oh, and here she goes again. Objection. I object to the witness talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? Now, the witness was stationed on the main gate of the day of the murder, correct? Yes, say I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin the testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Yeah, she sure is. the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 PM. Poor old Hammer and rest had been doing a run-through since the morning. I well had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main game from then until 5. Now the murder happened at 2:30 PM, right? Interesting to me because some man walked right by me at 2 PM. It was Powers, the man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. I mean, saw the defendant then. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Miss Wright. Yes, Your Honor. So what I wanna... Yes. 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 I want to... This. Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Mrs. Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? We're talking about this man, about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the sealed samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder? True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the sealed samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one is in the court is accusing you of that, Mrs. Witness. He's having trouble calling an Oldbag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgewood is surprised. Prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in possession ahead of time. Also, to know everything, everyone would be so nosy. You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. Young? Gumshoe? I don't know about you, but I don't think Gumshoe is that young. He told me, isn't this any... He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow. All the windbag has left even Edgewood speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. The morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? No? Not really. So he sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. You gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Whippersnapper? Yeah, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. Now up and up, you oh my god! Stop! Edgewood, please object! Mr. Wright, please, for all of your sake, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgewood has met his match. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up bathrobes, I think. She didn't know about Power's ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in court record. I'm just gonna continue. Was Mr. Power's ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there's one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where's this steel samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Anyway, that's not important. Witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it's clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure? You're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera would have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove the doubts from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue your testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Oh, yes. Witness account continued. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 PM, true? The only person I saw go to the studio before them was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen him. I remember a thing on a certain photo. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I know exactly what we're doing here. Time for Hammer's death was 2:30 PM, true? The only person I saw go to the studio before him was Will Powers. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right, anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you want to work at the studio, we might have an opening. The very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed words October 15, 2 PM, photo 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 PM on October the 15th. Really, Sonny. Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo 2. Photo 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was the only photo? Yeah? Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, right? Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. Its evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. Eh? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me. Can I explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Itchy boy, help! Huh? Believe me, I want to... But I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny, I only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Yeah, no, me too, Maya, me too. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one... The photos recorded, let's check that. Suspicious looking. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at the faces. For the most part. For the most part? It's a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and... They're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased. It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? I don't know about this, Chief. Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on the way to the studio that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? Huh. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick? What's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 AM, District Court, defendant lobby number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your resting room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really? What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? Doesn't look good. We're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we going to do? First we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Yeah, you wouldn't be either. Hey Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. How much do I have left? Okay, I have a bit left. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. Mr. Edgewood, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? Prosecutor's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went through the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. There is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Willpowers. Very well. Ms. Wright, your thoughts? Defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let's hear what you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person under the mispower that could have committed murder? Ah, this is actually... I mean... It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There's only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order, order. Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Mrs. Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post of Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai's costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take a picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right there, Sherlock Holmes II, baby! That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgewood pounces? Doesn't he usually jump on with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgewood, does the prosecution have an opinion in this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objection at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? So y'all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just go sit there, do something. Let's move. Maybe now's my chance to take this. We're gonna press further here. Let's see. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Mrs. Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Good thoughts, Mr. Wright? The boy's not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is to be nice to the kids and mean to the elders? Mean to your elders' day? Whippersnapper. I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. Your proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? I mean... This? Scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studio have a card key? I see. Well, would a witness care to comment on this? The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. The prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. Ah, calling her an Oldbag, hee, very nice. That is all, this court's adjourned. Whew. Wait a oh fuck, I thought it was over. No, wait a second. I'm not going to sit around here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her to not talk? Well, testify. I thought we were done for the day. God damn it. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. So if we tell you to shut up, will you shut up? Please? No, this is a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. I mean, I think the only thing we can do is ask who was there. Who are these people? Well, the director and the producer for starters. The director? I should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scenes without a director? Yeah? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. Oh, this is annoying. I think we've had 2 times now where it's like, well, nobody asks, so I thought I shouldn't say anything about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for a run-through. He joined the producers around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? What's Studio 2? Oh yeah. Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. Where the monkey's head was falling over. Well, Mr. Wright, would like to continue the cross-examination. I think I've already asked all my questions, but I mean, we can see what else. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. So you got your bonus and still talked. Huh. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Yeah, so Honor, we have learned that there were others at Global Studio on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it's impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense point. Prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people who have, we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. Edgeworth looked fucking so happy. It's ended the day's proceeding in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. October 18th, 10:04 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 3. Wow, we've been. It is kind of funny how we see like how long like we've technically been in there. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, really? It's nothing. Or should I? I'm going down to the studio to do some more investigating. Why the fuck was there a sniff? What the fuck was that for? We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get the material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have you figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure on Miss Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kinda sorry for her. I don't. Way too much talking. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there. With or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studio. Right, we're back to visit you soon. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Oh, the sniffy is like, thank you. To be continued. Really, that was... Yes. So we are gonna call it there for this episode of Phoenix Wright. I decided earlier in the conversation because this recorded at same time as the previous episode. But I want to make it more like not like a 2-hour long thing that takes forever to watch. So it's good actually that there are things like this. So I will meet you guys up next time for some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and we'll get into some more investigating on what actually happened with Mr. Hammer and who's trying to frame Mr. Powers for murder. So until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, or whatever it is, whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys next time. So have a good one, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see you then.